made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man. It ain't no stopping me. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up. It ain't no stopping me. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man. It ain't no stopping me. Got bands, I'ma run it up. It ain't no stopping me. I done ran up all these bands up in hand to hand, made like 5 bands a day. I was broke, came up with a plan, now I'm the man. It ain't no stopping me.
Fewer jobs that a robot cannot do better. Okay. What to do about mass unemployment? This is going to be a massive social challenge. And I think ultimately we will have to have some kind of universal basic income. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
Universal basic income.
Universal basic income. I think it's going to be necessary.
So it means that unemployed people will be paid across the globe. Because there is no job. Machine robot is taking over.
That's simply and I want to be clear that these are not things that I think that I wish would happen. These are simply things that I think probably will happen. And if my assessment is correct and they probably will happen, then we need to say, what are we going to do about it? And I think some kind of a universal basic income is going to be necessary. Now, the output of goods and services will be extremely high. So with automation, there will come abundance. There will be almost everything will get very cheap. I think I think we'll just end up doing universal basic income. It's going to be necessary. The harder challenge, much harder challenge, is how do people then have meaning? Like a lot of people, they derive their meaning from their employment.
All right. We're here. What's going on, guys? What's going on? All right, so check it out. Before we get into today's conversation, be sure to hit the thumbs up button as you come into the room to support the channel. As always, you got to get that out the way, the quick disclaimers. And before we get into the video, I want to tell you to check out the links in the description for all my die-hard fans, for all my true supporters of Fried Time Media and the message we're spreading here. If you support the message, if you're standing on that FBA lineage and solidarity, if you're pushing for reparations and you like to see brothers like me dedicate our time, energy, and knowledge towards the progress of foundational Black Americans, then do me a favor and support us by visiting the links in the description. I am a newly published author. My first book is out on Amazon now, so you can check out The Chronicles of Big Mistake, and the link to my book is in the description. So I appreciate everyone supporting the channel. With that being said, let's jump right into it. Tonight we're talking about universal basic income versus reparations. What's the differences? Which one is more likely to come first than the other? What are the two related? Is universal basic income, is UBI a form of reparations? These are some of the questions that I'm going to be answering and discussing tonight. And as I get into tonight's conversation, as always, if you're in the comment section, if you have any questions or you have a comment, I read all my comments, so I encourage you to, to get active in the comment section and let this be a dialogue, right? Let this be a two-way conversation. All right, with that being said, this is how we're going to break into this conversation. As the clip that I've already played has shown, Elon Musk is on record supporting universal basic income. All right, that clip that I just played was a conversation that Elon Musk had at the time. This was in 2018, I want to say. This is at the time when Yang, I forget the guy who was running for president. His last name is Yang. He was the first Asian American to get any traction. I think his name was Andrew Yang, was also pushing UBI. And at the time, Elon Musk was a big supporter of Andrew Yang, saying, yeah, Andrew Yang is on the right track. UBI is going to be the next step. This is Black History Month, and right now, Foundational Black Americans are pushing for reparations. We know that Martin Luther King, prior to his death, one of the last things that he said was, "We're coming to get our check." So in that vein, a lot of foundational Black Americans have been stomping on this delineation movement, stomping on this reparations movement, and a lot of people have overshadowed the fact that UBI was on the agenda of Martin Luther King. Not only Martin Luther King, but A. Philip Randolph. They had an entire economic agenda hashed out before the assassinations in the 1960s. And UBI was a major factor in the economic agenda of the civil rights movement. The reason being, reparations is specific to one lineage. Only one unique and specific group would benefit from reparations. And this would be a benefit to us because of not only the past economic sanctions that the US government have levied against us in the form of not only slavery, but redlining, Jim Crow, etc., et al., right? Whereas UBI would be an abolishment and the abolition of poverty. This is something that Martin Luther King was speaking on prior to his death. The abolition of poverty. He says we have so much money in this country. Never before in the history of mankind have humans been in an opportunity or been in a position where poverty could be abolished outright. And this sounds as if this is something that Elon Musk, based on the clip that I just played, is supportive of and in agreement of, especially when you factor in things such as automation, artificial intelligence. We see that right now there is a war brewing not only between ChatGPT and DeepSeek, right? We see China unleashing an open source AI, which is running circles around ChatGPT as we speak. So we see that the technology, the rate of technological advance is growing exponentially. It's an iterative process, and with each iteration, technology is expanding exponentially. And it cannot be stopped. It cannot be reversed. It cannot be slowed down. So what is the end goal? What is the ultimate conclusion of this situation if it can't be stopped? If jobs will undoubtedly being replaced, we've seen massive protests in the form of Hollywood boycotting, saying we're not going to make any new movies, writers boycotting, entire industries which right now are taken for granted will disappear overnight, especially within the next 10 years or so. Because as I said, technology grows iteratively and exponentially. All right. Let's get into this next clip. As always on this channel, I like to come with some clips that spur thought, that have something to do with our conversation. But one thing I want to point out while we're on the subject of Elon Musk is the fact that Elon Musk right now has the ear of the president, Donald Trump. Elon Musk right now is in charge of DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, where he is auditing the U.S. aid. He is auditing Donald Trump has given him orders to, for the first time ever, audit the Pentagon. So the power and the reach of DOGE right now is growing, and I say that's a good thing. I say that's great. I say we need to make the government less of a bureaucratic mess where we've got millions of dollars going out for some of the most insane expenditures. And I'm going to give you a quick list, just a quick example with this next clip. Y'all check this out.
Several years. These are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru, I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government.
We're sending hundreds of thousands of dollars to Ireland for LGBT plays. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? I say it's a good thing that Elon Musk and the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is auditing these bureaucratic cesspools and identifying really all of this money which could be used here on the American people. So the good thing and the interesting thing about the times that we're living in is all of these steps, all of these actions that Donald Trump, who's supposed to be the boogeyman, the big racist that black people were supposed to go out and vote against, all of the actions that he is taking right now only strengthens the foundational Black American movement and our stance as far as putting Americans, specifically foundational Black Americans, first. Putting Americans first. When you're talking about all of these deportations that are taking place, we as foundational Black Americans, we're not shook, we're not scared, we're not shaken, we're not jumping out the window trying to stop the deportations because we're grounded here in America. When we talk about the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, auditing the government, auditing USAID, we're not scared. We're saying, hey, good. Black Americans are saying, hey, we don't have a problem with that. You need to go in there and see where all of our money is going, how it's being siphoned and funneled away from us, and why it's going to Ireland and Poland and the Middle East and Ukraine and Peru and Mozambique and all these places that we didn't agree to. Good. That's a good thing. And all of that money, instead of going to these third world countries and going to these LGBTQ movements, cultists, hedonists, it could be going to us in the form of reparations. So now, before we get too deep, I want to give you the difference between the overlay between reparations and UBI. So UBI, this is my personal prediction. All right, I'm predicting this. So remember I said this, and this is the whole reason I wanted to make this video, is because I believe that if and when Black Americans get some momentum towards reparations, and we're finally getting start talking about dollar amounts, specific dollar amounts, when HR 40 and all that finally passes, and the foundational Black American movement, the delineation movement finally gets federal recognition, I think that there's going to be a pivot. I think that what they're going to do is say, hey, well, we can't give just Black Americans reparations, but you know what we can do? We can do a UBI program. We can do a universal basic income program. Elon Musk has already said we all have to get UBI. So, hey, we can't, UBI will disproportionately, isn't that what they always like to say? Oh, well, this policy will disproportionately affect Black Americans. So yeah, it's a lift-all program, but you can disproportionately benefit from it. We'll create welfare, and although sure, the mass majority of white people, the mass majority of welfare recipients are white, but we'll still say, hey, it disproportionately benefits you. Or when we talk about DEI, sure, the biggest recipient of DEI policies are white women, but we'll say that, hey, DEI disproportionately benefits Black people. That's what they're going to do with reparations. They're going to try to Trojan horse reparations in as UBI. Mark my words. Especially with Elon Musk in office right now, or Elon Musk not in office, but Elon Musk having the ear of the president. Because you got to remember, we have Donald Trump. I said we. Excuse me. Donald Trump has only been in office for a few weeks at this point, right? Has it even been a month? Donald Trump and the Republicans have only been in office less than a month, a few weeks at this point. And look at all of the things, all of the changes that he has already instituted. He's released 1,500 people from January 6th. He's instituted the Department of Government Efficiency, where Elon Musk is auditing the government, getting receipts on all of these seemingly illegal at worst, wasteful at best, grants being spent in Peru and Mozambique and Ireland and Poland and the Ukraine. Think about all of the good, all of the policy changes, all of the, just whether you forget judgment calls, whether you like it or love it, think about all of the changes, all of the executive orders, the substantial and significant executive orders Donald Trump has signed to this day, and it's only been 3 weeks. He's got another 4 years, and we've got Congress members suggesting and introducing legislation to offer Donald Trump a third term. Look it up. Look it up. You think I'm making that up? Look it up. We've got folks like Ogle, look it up, Ogle, introducing legislation to the United States Congress to make a constitutional amendment that would grant Donald Trump an opportunity to run for a third term. And of course, it's worded in such a way to exclude President Barack Obama from getting a third term. Of course. I didn't mean to, yeah. Of course they're going to try to exclude the black man. He said, okay, we're going to introduce legislation. Donald Trump, since you only got one term and it wasn't a full 8 years, we're going to let you run for a third term, but not Obama. Not Obama. Not because he got consecutive president. Come on. So look, the reason I'm going into that diatribe is the whole point of that is I'm saying there's a lot of time. There's a lot of time left on this clock. There's a lot of time for unprecedented changes to come. So when you look at someone like Elon Musk, who is on record supporting universal basic income, and we look at the fact that Donald Trump is looking for some way to benefit the black Americans, but obviously he can't because he has to play to that racist base of his. He can't directly do reparations. So I anticipate, I want to preempt. I want to call it out and preempt it and make it clear that we will not be accepting UBI, free college from Bernie Sanders, or any other lift all boats program as reparation. Now, do you ask me, would I support a universal basic income? Yes, I would. I think it's inevitable per Elon Musk. Per Elon Musk, UBI is inevitable. I work in tech, so I see the way the technology is expanding. Inevitably. I get it. I see where this thing is headed. So yes, I understand the whole principle of UBI, and I think that it's inevitable. But do I think that could replace or suffice as reparations? No, I do not. It's a lift-all program similar to free college, free higher education. I support free college and free higher education. I think that if you have the mental capacity and the will and desire to get knowledge and education, I think it would benefit society. It would benefit the country to fund that. How many high school kids said gave up on before they even got to college because they knew they couldn't pay for it? How many kids are in high school and they're like, what's the point of me even trying in high school when I know I can't go to college? How many people gave up because they know they can't? How many people tried to go to school, took on debt, took on student loans, and then for whatever reason didn't, and not for whatever reason, but couldn't afford to finish. So then they got the debt that they started, that they accumulated to go to school, but they couldn't get more debt to finish. The system right now is backwards. So yes, I would support universal basic income, and I would support free higher education, subsidized higher education. I think it would be a net positive for the country in general. I think it would be a benefit and a good thing to have in the country. But does that replace reparations? The answer is no. Does it replace reparations? No. Now, if UBI was to come, and I don't want to go off too deep in this tangent because I have some more clips, and I do want to bring some more light on some things that is going on with Elon Musk and this Doge. But I want to get this thought out before we move on. If and when UBI is to pass, if UBI was to pass and poverty altogether was abolished, would reparations even be necessary? I think at that point, reparations would still be necessary because it's not an issue of income. Like, for example, the income gap is significantly decreasing. As time continues, the income gap between blacks, whites is closing, and we see some other groups like Asians, for example, Asians and Indians, their incomes are higher than that of even the white demographic. So a universal basic income would solve an issue of income, but that has no significant impact on the wealth gap. The wealth gap is the inheritance that has been passed down from generation to generation within one community, and the debt that has been passed down from generation to generation in the other. So while a UBI, universal basic income, would lift all boats and would be a positive thing for the country altogether, it would have no impact on the wealth gap, which is where reparations specifically is still needed. All right. Not only that, but even taking a step back from the straight dollar signs of reparations, a part of reparations is going to have to be land. It's going to have to be land grants. See, we're looking for lineage-based reparations to mirror that of the Native American groups. So Native Americans, not only are they getting tax or cash payments, cash reparation payments, they're also getting land grants, so they have their own reservations where they have sovereignty. They can police themselves. One reason the crime rate in the black community is so high is because we don't police ourselves, and we don't trust the United States police. We don't trust our local police departments. These white people, you call them for help, they'll come to your house and kill you, like Sonia Macy. Sonia Macy called for help. She thought somebody was out in her backyard trying to sneak into her house. She calls 911. The police come to her house. They go inside of her house and they shoot her dead in her own home. She's the one that called them. So black people in America do not trust the police, the racist police departments, for good reason. For good reason. You can't say we're just making it up. This is coming out of nowhere. No, black people have legitimate reasons to have distrust against these police departments. So as a part of reparations, we're going to need land where we can police ourselves. Sovereignty, similar to that of the Native Americans. Native Americans can go on their own reservations, and if they want, they can leave the reservation. See, the Native Americans, they get the best of both worlds. Hey, if you want to just be around your own, you need some time to get away from these police. You're scared of the police for whatever reason. You can't keep up or can't compete in the society that these Europeans have built here in the United States. You should have your own foundational black American land where you can go and be amongst your own sovereign people. You can be amongst your own sovereign people, your own police departments, policing yourself according to your own laws. See, that's the part that they don't want to talk about. They only want to look at the straight dollar signs and cash deposits, direct deposits. But no, when you look at the reparations that the Native American tribes get, and mind you, nobody ever says to the Native Americans, oh, well, they took your land so long ago. Why do you need tax incentives today? Why do you need sovereign land today? Why do you need your own police departments today? Why do you need your own laws today? Nobody tells that to the Native Americans, right? But to the melanated Native Americans who are reclassified as Negro, they try to act like you don't have a legitimate claim, which obviously we do. And if and when UBI is passed, I want to be on record saying, that's nice. We're all supportive of UBI. Free college, that's nice. I'm all supportive of free college, but those things are not reparations. All right. And one thing I want to point out while we're on the topic of Elon Musk here, and his Doge, he has got a lot of folks scared. Elon Musk has a lot of folks scared, and they're the Democrats. When I say a lot of folks, I mean specifically the Democratic Party. I mean specifically the Democratic Party. The black grassroots, people like me, we're happy. People like me, I couldn't be happier. Hey, I feel like this last election in 2024, I feel like this was a win-win situation. Hey, I didn't vote for either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, but I felt like either way I win. If Kamala wins, hey, at least it's a black woman in office. Yeah, people like to say she's not black. She's not FBA, but she's still black. So I don't even want to hear all that stuff. She's still melanated. She's black as far as I'm concerned. She's black as far as I'm concerned. So we would have had a black female president. I think that's a good look, something that could inspire young black women, because I remember in 2009, I turned 18 in 2009. Y'all do the math on that one. And I looked up to President Obama. President Obama was elected in 2000. Well, he was elected in 2008. He took office in 2009. And I was finally 18. I was too young to even vote for him. So I did not vote for President Obama. But I got to see a black president. And hey, look at me today. I'm working in politics. I'm talking to y'all about politics. It's one of my interests today. I was inspired from a young teen, right? So think about, I do place some value in, if not the policies, just the optics. I do think that there is some value that brings. Not enough for me to vote for, but I'll take some value there. And the fact that it's more consistent. See, the thing about Donald Trump, he has a lot of good policies. He has some bad policies, but he's not very consistent. He's not very predictable. He's very unpredictable. He's very volatile. He's very dangerous. Kamala Harris would have been the safer choice, but she didn't win. Hey, no sweat, because she was cosplaying as FBA. She was pissing me off a lot of times, and her defenders, the people who supported Kamala Harris, were pissing me off with their shaming tactics, talking about, oh, black man, you gotta vote for Kamala Harris or you're not black. Barack Obama talking to black men. Oh, Pookie and Ray Ray, they might not vote for Kamala Harris. Like, as if we owe her a vote, as if we have to, as if we have no other options. We have no agency over who we choose to vote for. The woman told us, I'm not going to do anything for black people. No. And they still came out to try to shame us, and try to shame us as if we don't have minds of our own. So yeah, she lost, and I'm fine with that. And Donald Trump, it's a win-win situation. I got Trump. He's clearing the paint. He's hitting the reset on a lot of these policies that were harming us. He's getting this DEI stuff out the way. He's getting this LGBTQ stuff out the way. He's getting the illegal immigrants in these sleeper cells who I believe were over here burning up Los Angeles. When I talk about the deportations, why I think that's a good thing, do you ever see the videos of those people? And I posted some of them here on my channel. Here, check it out on Friday Time Media. They've caught people, arsonists, these illegal immigrants who are over here starting fires in Los Angeles. Who do you think started the fires in Maui? See, we don't even talk about the fires in Maui anymore. Do y'all not remember that all those people in Hawaii, they lost their homes? Where do you think these things are coming from? How do you think these trains are just all of a sudden falling off the racks like East Palestine for no reason? We don't ever get any explanation as far as the cause for the fires in LA, the cause for the fires in Maui, Hawaii, the cause of the trains exploding in East Palestine. We don't get the causes of all of these airplanes just falling out of the sky. Listen, I submit to you, I suspect, allegedly, these are terrorist acts. These are terrorist acts. And they don't want to tell the public because they don't want to frighten the public. So instead, they'll just hope you move on to the next news cycle. They just hope you forget about it and move on to the next cycle. And they don't ever explain what the causes of these things were. I'm just saying. So these Democrats, a lot of the grassroots blacks, we're happy about it. I'm fine. I'm happy with Donald Trump. I think he's doing a pretty good job, to be honest with you. So far, his policies aren't significantly impacting me. He's done some things that I disagree with, like making all of the government workers go back into the office. That policy, it seems, it's an annoyance, it's a nuisance, but it's not the end of the world. I think that's the only one that's the main one that I have a problem with, and that's because I live here in DC, so I know that he did that because of commercial real estate. Donald Trump saw that there were a lot of these commercial real estate buildings, especially like here in DC, for example, that were vacant. A lot of those businesses that thrive because here in DC, it's called the DMV. DC is right there in the middle. To the south, you have Virginia, and to the north, you have Maryland. So a lot of the rich folks, the politicians and whatnot, they'll live in Maryland and Virginia, and they'll drive into DC to do work. And then at 5 p.m. comes, and they're leaving DC to go back to Maryland and Virginia. That's why they call it the DMV. So I'm just putting you on game. The reason that Donald Trump signed the executive order making the government workers return to work is because when everyone was working from home, all of those commercial real estate buildings that were thriving, for example, you drive into DC, you got to get lunch. So you got your sandwich shops, you got your bagel shops for the morning, you got your coffee shops, you've got all of these different real estate buildings office buildings where people would drive in and be on their computer. All of that commercial real estate was just sitting there vacant. People were losing money. So that's why Donald Trump said, okay, government workers have to go back to work. That was really a gift to the commercial real estate industry. They ain't going to tell you that. So be sure to hit the thumbs up button here on Fried Time Media, because I'm just giving you game in case you didn't know. That's some cranberry juice. With that being said, the Democrats are freaking out, and the reason the Democrats are freaking out is because their supporters are turning on them. The Democrats are bleeding right now because the vast majority of Americans, black, white, purple, blue, are saying, hey, America First policies are a good thing because we're Americans. Y'all have been spending all of this money in Peru and Ukraine and Mozambique, U.S. aid, sending U.S. aid money for LGBT plays in Poland. Y'all spending all this money. We need to be spending that money here. The only people who would have a problem with that, you got to look at them and wonder, why would you have a problem with these things being audited? Huh? That they're having a meltdown, these Democrats, because their supporters, black folks, aren't rocking with the Democrats right now. We're like, hey, the Republicans are doing a pretty good job, truth be told. And the policies that we're supposed to be scared of aren't really hurting us. Look at what Maxine Waters had to say. And she kind of exposed herself. I'm going to play this clip. She kind of exposed herself trying to shout down Elon Musk. She really exposed herself. Check this out.
People of this country are being violated because all of our privacy is being taken up by Elon Musk and Trump, and we don't know what all they have on us. We don't know what all they have on us. The people of this country are being violated because all of our privacy is being taken up by Elon Musk and Trump, and we don't know what all they have on us. We don't know what all they have on us.
So that was a Freudian slip. That's what we call a Freudian slip. She's trying to come up with an argument. Okay, why are you so upset that Elon Musk is auditing the government? Why are you so upset? Oh, because Elon, he has all this information and access to our information, and we don't know what he has on us. Has on who? You don't know what he has on who? The American people, black, white, yellow, green, we're not scared of the things that Elon might find while in his Department of Government Efficiency. We're not scared that he might find money coming to us, because that money's not coming to us. That money's going to freaking Timbuktu, Gaza, Mozambique, all these random places all around the world that have nothing to do with us. And the Democrats cannot put together an argument as to why you would be upset with these things being cleared. The problem is a lot of them are corrupt. A lot of them are scared that the receipts around their corruption are going to be exposed. That's what it is. And all of these elderly, freaking senile Democrats, they should be scared. I'm looking at you, Nancy Pelosi. I'm looking at you, Maxine Waters. I'm looking at you, Chuck Schumer. Huh? Now we all know the corruption, and I'm glad that Elon is exposing it, and it only makes our position stronger. It's only making our position stronger. Now, one thing that they have been trying to throw on Elon Musk is the fact that he has a conflict of interest. He has a conflict of interest because he is still the owner of SpaceX, and SpaceX is still getting contracts. Y'all check this out.
Now, while he was boosting those lies about U.S. aid, and he was stopping money going for, say, things such as Head Start, somehow the only money that didn't stop was the money to him and his organization. Now, I don't know how you can have him be the watchdog as well as the guy that is literally living off of the government. If we want to talk about government welfare, it looks like Elon Musk, because it's my understanding that just on yesterday, a new contract was approved for approximately $300 million for Elon Musk. So listen, now while he was boosting those lies about U.S. aid, and he was stopping money going for, say, things such as Head Start, somehow the only money that didn't...
Okay. All right, so that's something that they're trying to get on him. Oh, he still has, he's getting so much money. The reason is he has SpaceX, right? And SpaceX is largely taking the place of NASA. So a lot of that money, Elon Musk is getting a lot of money from the government. And I say that's a small price to pay. If you ask me, that's a small price to pay. They're trying to use that as a gotcha. I say, hey, Elon Musk, he doesn't have to spend his time worrying about the Department of Government Efficiency. He's got enough on his plate with SpaceX and Tesla. He is really doing America, the country, a favor, as far as I'm concerned. So the Democrats are trying to use that as a gotcha. I'm like, hey, that's a small price to pay. Him getting some contract that he was already going to get regardless. Because make no mistake about it, if those contracts were up for renewal and Joe Biden had won, he still would have gotten those contracts. There's nobody competing. He's monopolized space exploration. That's literally the definition of SpaceX. He's monopolized. NASA isn't even competing with SpaceX at this point. Elon Musk has monopolized space exploration. So there is no one else that would have gotten that contract regardless. And if he gets that contract and he's still going to help make this country run more efficiently and get all of this corruption out of the way, that's what I have to say about it. Good. Good. That's what I have to say. Salute to Elon Musk. By the way, guys, if you made it this far in the video, be sure to thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button to support the channel. All right. And look, all over, if you look, it's not just me saying that black people are not freaking out over Donald Trump like they want us to. People have noticed. It started off with the deportations. They were trying to get us to panic because of the deportations, and then they realized, wait, black people don't seem too worried. They're not showing up at the protests. Where are all the black people? Why aren't they fighting? Where are all the black people? Black people like point out some of the policies that Donald Trump has done to affect us. Huh? Huh? Because right now, everything is, I'm seeing a lot of positives. I'm sitting back like George Carlin. Hey, let it burn. I'm loving I'm enjoying this show. Let me get my popcorn and I'm good to go. Check out, salute to this black woman. Check out her take on the situation.
Talk about taking what? Oh, really? Y'all talk about taking what to the streets? I hear you Democrat politicians talking about taking something to the street. We got to use violence. Oh, yeah? Y'all want this smoke? Well, come on out to the street because there's a whole bunch of angry taxpayers, baby. And I don't think you got enough bodyguards for us, honey. So you watch what you say. And now y'all want to sing civil rights songs? What side are you on?
Facts.
What side are you on? Really? We ain't on your damn side. We on God's side. Because y'all the devil. Y'all the devil. And how dare y'all talk about violence? The party of love and happiness. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Bring it to the streets. Come on, I dare you. Bring it to the streets. Let's see what happens when you bring it to the streets. Hell out of here. Y'all look like a bunch of damn fools. Shut your ass up.
Nah, that's facts though. It's a lot of taxpayers and it's not going to go like they think. The Democrats don't have any supporters right now. They're having a hard time getting together a coalition because black folks are like, y'all are being exposed. Y'all have all this money and then y'all will be the first ones to tell us, well, you know, we don't have any money for reparations. We don't have any money for reparations. We've got all this money for illegal immigrants. We've got all this money for HIV prevention in third world countries. But when it comes to taking care of the American people right here at home, we don't have it. We don't have it. That's what they want us to believe. And then all of a sudden, oh, it's 2020. Here's a couple trillion for the stock market. Here's a couple trillion for stimulus checks. Here's a couple trillion. They were just printing trillions off like it was nothing. And we're sitting here like, what? What? You telling me that we don't have no money for reparations, but then 2020 hits and you're just printing off, there's a trillion for you, a trillion for you. Look like an Oprah giveaway. They're just giving away trillions. You get a trillion, you get a trillion. What? Then Elon Musk and Donald Trump take office. They start auditing the USAID. They start auditing the Pentagon. We see, 100 million over here, 20 million over here, 50 million over here. And we're like, y'all got all this money, but y'all telling us we don't have no money for reparations. We don't have any money. We've got homeless. We got a problem with the homeless right here in this country today. We don't have no money for the homeless. We don't have no money for education. We don't have no money for healthcare. Do you understand that people are losing their homes and going bankrupt because they get sick? It should be a crime. It should be a crime. And all of these politicians who have been getting these hundreds of millions of dollars in kickbacks. I saw just another post, man. I've got so many posts on this that I wanted to show. I saw a post where they were breaking down the salary of some folks, like Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi gets $250,000 a year, but her net worth is like $200 million. Thanks to all of this insider trading and all this corruption that they've been practicing. It should be a crime. It's treasonous is what it is. It's treasonous. The way that they've been spending the American taxpayers' dollars and giving us nothing. People are getting sick and losing their homes. Their wives are leaving them. They're going bankrupt, losing their jobs, losing their homes, losing everything because they don't have sufficient health care, or their deductibles are too high. People going bankrupt over cancer, over diabetes, over because they had a stroke. We don't have no money for healthcare, no money for education, for free college, student loan forgiveness. We don't have no money for reparations. We don't have no money for anything. But then you let Elon Musk get on here and give you a list of where all these hundreds of millions of dollars is going annually. We're not taking that for an answer no more. We're not taking that for an answer no more. We don't have the money is no longer an acceptable answer. We don't have the money is no longer an acceptable answer. And yeah, we recognize that they're trying to use the black community. The Democrats, being they, are trying to use the black community as a buffer or a blunt force object to go up and fight against the Republicans. And no. So I speak for the masses of foundational black Americans. I speak for the grassroots of the foundational black Americans. Nah, we're not fighting Donald Trump right now. We're sitting back and we're watching this, and I want to see how it plays out. I want to see exactly what they find. Because they're acting as if someone comes and says, "Hey, I just caught this guy stealing your car," and they're acting like we should be we should be mad at the messenger. They're acting like we should be slapping the messenger, saying, "Oh, how dare you tell me that they stole our car?" No, we're looking at you like you've been stealing from us this whole time. And the Democrats are trying to trick. No. Matter of fact, I want to see what the Democrats do in 2028, because I think I predict they're going to crash and burn. I don't see the Democrats are done. Like, they are through. We are dangerously close to a one party system at this point. I'm saying it early. Remember, I said it. It's only February of 2025. I'm saying it early. We're dangerously close to a one-party system. We've got senators introducing legislation to give Donald Trump a third term in office. We are, and truth be told, if he had to run, he would likely win. Especially the way that the amendment to the Constitution was written. Ogle's amendment trying to give Donald Trump a third term. The only person who could beat Donald Trump at this point would possibly, and I wouldn't even bet on Obama at this point, but he would be the only chance of the Democrats. I don't see it. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Put a name in the comments section. I'm curious to know who could beat Donald Trump. Who could beat Donald Trump? RFK wouldn't run against Donald Trump. He's already accepted a position in RFK's cabinet, or in Donald Trump's transition team. Right? He's working for the healthcare now as a Donald Trump appointee. So RFK is not going to run against Donald Trump. Bernie Sanders is too old. If Donald Trump was chose to run it, if Donald Trump didn't choose, if Donald Trump was allowed to run in 2028, which Democrat could beat him? That's my question. And y'all leave it in the comment section. Y'all know I read all my comments. Because that's a legitimate question. I don't think anyone has a chance. I wish somebody would say Gavin Newsom. What? I wish somebody would say Gavin Newsom. I don't think anybody could beat Donald Trump in 2028 if he was allowed to run. Matter of fact, and we'll see if he does not run. Okay, then I don't know from the Republican side who would have to run, and that might be a video for another day. JD Vance versus who? Kamala Harris. What are we going to expect in 2028? JD Vance versus Kamala Harris. JD Vance versus Gavin Newsom. At least, hopefully, the Democrats finally have a primaries again. I mean, the Democrats have rigged all their primaries and canceled their primaries the past 12 years. The Democrats, if anyone who identifies as a Democrat today, I don't know if you can remember the last time you got a fair primary election. But I digress. Check out this clip. This is another black person saying, "Hey, we're not jumping out the window like these Democrats want us to." Check this out.
And black people, that incident that happened in Columbus, Ohio with the Nazis, that's a setup. They're trying to force us into a war or a protesting so they can set up martial law. Do not interact. Don't do it. So you mean to tell me some Nazis just pull up in a predominantly black neighborhood and start waving a flag up and then hop in a van and leave? And there was only about 4 or 5 of them. They usually roll deep. And only one had a gun? One. Like, what did they expect when they did this? Did they expect just to pull up, wave the flag, and just go back in their car? Like, this is the stuff that I be trying to say. I think they're literally trying to force us into it because they see that we're not reacting to anything. So they're like, no. This is not good. You're supposed to be reacting to us right now. Like, I just don't get it why there are so many cultures and races in America, but they are so focused on the black community. It makes you think that they're literally trying to blame us on this. It's like, we need to make a big move, but we don't want to get blamed for this. So let's use the black community, our sheep, to be the blame. That's what it's giving. Stay prayed up and stay safe, because that happened out of the blue. And then they just get into a car and leave like nothing happened.
Hey, and the brother's not lying. The brother's not lying. It's almost as if they're trying to provoke black folks to get involved. And we're sitting this one out. We're sitting this one out. The Democrats are panicking because they don't have any support. The grassroots are not out there stomping against Donald Trump like they want us to. We're like, hey, I want to see where this thing goes. Right now, Donald Trump's policies are clearing a path, and we're just waiting. We're like the running back. You know, we're letting those linemen clear out the hole, and we're just waiting. Give us the hole. We're going to run through that mug. Just wait on it. Just wait on it. We're going to be very strategic and find the right opportunity. But one thing we're not doing is we're not shying away. We're not backing down from this conversation regarding the delineation movement and reparations. And that's the thing that is really upsetting them. That's why they hated to see Kendrick Lamar in that halftime show, because they're used to just, oh, you know, nobody's a slave. I never owned slaves and you've never been a slave, so we don't owe you reparations. And black people just be like, okay, I guess reparations will never happen. No, right now, black people are unified saying, nah, we're not getting shamed off of this topic. We're not letting it go. We're not getting distracted. Our focus, okay, you got the portions, we don't care. USAID, we don't care. What else you got? DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, we don't care. We don't care about any of this stuff that they're trying to distract us with. Oh, they got Nazis going down the street. Okay, let's get them out the paint. All right, now that they're out the paint, we're back focused again. We are staying laser focused on this topic of reparations, and we're not letting the conversation move off of that square. So like I said, the whole purpose of this video, I want to warn y'all that I foresee they're going to try to use catch-all policies such as universal basic income and free college for all, and say, oh, well, we can't give you lineage-based reparations, but we can come together for some of these universal lift-all programs, and you will disproportionately benefit from these UBI programs. And I'm here to say, hey guys, don't fall for it. Accept the UBI, accept because it's inevitable. Accept the UBI, accept the free college and education, but don't think that that is the same or synonymous with reparations. Reparations is very exclusive. It's not for all black people. Reparations is not going to end. It's not a solution to racism. People are still going to be racist. Even after you get reparations, people are still going to be racist because they just don't like you. Get over it. Reparations is not for all black people because all black people suffered. No, not for all black people. Reparations is a very specific, lineage-based claim, which is tied to the economic deprivation that has been passed down generationally. The lost inheritance. Reparations is for stolen inheritance, which the United States government has very intentionally inflicted upon one specific, unique group. So yeah, UBI, according to Elon Musk, is inevitable, but it's not the same as reparations. I'm welcoming both, but hey, that's just what I think. That being said, guys, if you made it this far in the video, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up button, guys. Like the video. And as always, if you haven't done so yet, be sure to smash the subscribe button for more content just like this. All right, guys, that's going to be it. As always, hey, check it out. In the description, I put some links. Support the channel by hitting the links in the description. I just recently published a book called The Chronicles of Big Mistake. So go check out my book. It's available on Amazon. The link is in the description. I think it's interesting. You'll enjoy the book. It's a very short read. You might enjoy it. It's good for kids. So go check out The Chronicles of Big Mistake. I think you're going to like that. And it's going to be a series. It's a family-oriented series. So I think y'all are going to enjoy that. So go check out the book, The Chronicles of Big Mistake, and support the links in the description. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!